Hello, people. Hello.
Hello, teacher. How are you?
Yes, pretty good. How are you?
I'm good, doing good. Thank you very much.
That's amazing. Hello, Mr. Ken. How are you, man? Long time no see. Yeah.
I have a wife in the background making noise. Give me 30 seconds. I'm just about to go and deal with her.
That's okay. That's okay. Cool. Mazen, how are you? How is everything? How is life?
Everything is all right, thank you. And it's a bit, the rainy days are happening nowadays, and it's all right. I was downtown yesterday, and we enjoyed it very much, going on the high street with our jackets on.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the weather here is a bit cold, rainy, cloudy. It is so dismal, let's say.
Yeah, the summer is over. That's a fact now.
Summer is over. Yeah, we have to accept it. Yeah. Amazing, amazing. Very good. So what about Mr. Ken? How is it going?
We're kind of running well into autumn now. The days are quite chilly. I was in central London the other day taking photographs. It's quite nice seeing all the lights and the hustle and the bustle of a city which is pretty much back to normality. So what else have I been doing? Yeah, busy working, busy helping other people out, and I don't know.
That's amazing.
You have Monday morning, the next thing you're at like Sunday night, and you think, where did that week go?
Yeah, totally right. Yeah, okay, cool. As long as everybody is healthy and strong, that is the only thing that we have to just consider. Very good. Actually, as I announced the Google Classroom, which I have recently discovered and implemented, it is really amazing. So, I mean, you can have everything beforehand. Let me share the screen for advanced level. I shared this link, right? I think so. So you can have everything here based on the date. I am still writing Turkey time. Not my fault. I mean, Google also actually uses this term. I remember a couple of times that I wanted to conduct a Google meeting. It says, for example, Turkey time. Not my fault.
What's the new thing about the Google Classroom?
Google Classroom, actually, I use it for my actual students, but I said, why not? We can just use it for our meetings too, right? So I put everything here. For example, today is 17:10. Like, you can click on that and see the prompt. For example, today we are going to talk about this. Hopefully next week, you can see the question, the prompt beforehand. Until the end of this year, I created this thing, and then you can have the question and the Zoom meeting, and everything is clear. Get it? So
wow,
whenever you want, you can just click and see at what time we are basically trying to do the Zoom meetings. So for today, it says some people prefer to buy local products while others prefer international products. To what extent do you agree or disagree? Yeah, that was the prompt. Yeah, Mr. Ken, please go ahead. Start. I think you're muted, sir. Please unmute yourself.
Yes. Yeah. I knew this was going to happen. It always does. I somehow get elected to kick things off. Okay, so I suppose the initial things which come to mind are that if you're buying local, you're helping basically your neighbors
Yeah.
because you're purchasing from people who are producing or manufacturing local to you. So that helps your own local economy. That helps to build and keep the local economy going, keeps people in employment. So it has all of those massive advantages. So as a second advantage, and this depends a little bit on where the natural resources come from, you're also limiting the number of miles or kilometers that products, natural resources, materials are being brought from. So you're keeping down the carbon footprint by buying locally produced things. Obviously, some things you're unable to purchase locally. And I think, if I look at the UK, tomatoes in winter, they have to come from somewhere else because we don't produce them in winter.
Yeah.
So there are, or I don't know, quite specific products which are only made in one place. I can't think of a prime example at the moment, but there will be goods which are only manufactured somewhere because that's where the natural resource comes from. They build local and then they export. I suppose the disadvantage is that the costs, so buying out of places like China, potentially India, Latin America, the costs, even after shipping, are cheaper to purchase than local products. It's a throw up between cost and the benefit to your own community, or costs and the savings that you can make. So, I mean, they're my very initial thoughts on this one. So let's see what other people think about this question, which is a good question.
Sure. Yes, please. Mr. Mazen, go ahead.
Yeah, hi again.
Hello.
I think Mr. Ken is totally right. I mean, when we think about buying from outside our country, when I, for example, want to buy some kind of electronic device, not from Denmark, from China, for example, I get a lower price. So I can find it cheaper and better. But
better.
Better, exactly. In some, because the China products, as I heard, I'm not sure, they send the first class products to Europe. So they have different kind of classes for products: first class, second class, third class. So the third class goes to the Middle East. So the first, so the first class products, those are all right, and the price is better, even that they are shipping and they are, we have to pay the price for transportation and things like that. But we get a lower price than we get here from Denmark. But as Mr. Ken said, there's some kind of moral obligation that if you want to buy from your own country locally, then you enrich the economical situation in your own country.
True.
And you find more jobs for your own community, and you take care of your own economical business in your country. It get growing. So it is more beneficial for your own country. But sometimes, for example, if we look at when we speak about fruits, I don't think in winter we can find bananas in Denmark. So it has to come from elsewhere, from Africa, for example. So that's how it is. You cannot get everything from your country when it comes to food. So you have to bring it from outside. Yeah,
please go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I have a friend. He told me that one of the funniest thing that people here, some of them, they go to the shoe shop and they take them the shoe, try the shoe and see the number what suit them, and they go on Amazon or go on the China's website and bring them from there. I mean, this is kind of deception, you know.
I see.
So this is bad. This is a bad act. When you go to a shop and you find the product, and then you see it's suitable for your daily life and suits you, and you
Mhm.
get the what it is, and
Mhm.
then you just order it from another place.
Mhm.
This is what some of the people does just to save some kind of money, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something which I know also happens here in the UK. Half the problem with that, or the one of the downsides of that is the I'm going to use the word destruction of the high street, because the high street, because of the costs of business premises, rates, so local taxes, electricity, the costs of staff, all mean that they cannot compete. As a consequence, the high street really suffers, and high streets in the UK are dying as a result of people either one, using large shopping centres, or two, purchasing via Amazon, off eBay, or kind of sites like that, where they're actually circumventing the middleman, the high street seller. And the decimation of the high street is not good, because it doesn't do any town, city, or village any good. It means that you have voids. Voids is an expression in English which just means empty properties. Yeah. And that doesn't reflect well on the high street. And once you start to get several voids in the high street, you start to get a high street which is less kind of attractive to shoppers. And as a consequence, when it's less attractive to shoppers, more shops start to close because you don't have the passing trade. And that's one of the things I think in terms of buying locally sourced and buying locally sold, so in shops, in the services in your high street or in the immediate area around you, is that your whole area has an uplift. It just feels better. It feels better because the shops are all full. It feels that there's some kind of quality and some kind of richness in the high street. If you're always buying off the internet, it's just going to kill high streets and kill many town centres, which is exactly what is happening here in the UK. I don't know about other countries, but it's definitely happening in other countries. Oh, we have a Juan Pablo, we have a Juanpi. Anyway, I'm going to shut up and listen to other people.
Thank you very much. Yeah, quite correct, actually. But I wanted to, hello, man. Hello, how are you? Welcome aboard. I wanted to say that, what do you think of globalization? Is it something which is related to globalization to support? Because we are in need of, products to come. And maybe sometimes if we can, as a country, we can just export products to other countries. So how do you feel? What are your opinions about it, about the globalization?
Well, there are definitely some good points. I think when you have companies like Amazon, who absolutely dominate the market across many continents. Sure. That brings the cheapness of goods, but it also brings the decimation of the local economy. And I suppose one of the side effects is, over time, when you decimate the local economy, then people like Amazon can hype their prices because they have no competition. They have no competition. They've decimated the competition. They seem cheap now. 5 years down the line, when we have no real high streets, when they have no competition, they can just lift the prices because nobody is around to compete.
They call it like, please.
So globalization does have its advantages, but I think at the end of the day, they are outweighed by the massive disadvantages of these huge multinational companies who can dominate any and every single market.
Yeah, thank you. Speaking of domination, I just remembered an idiom. I'm not sure whether it is British or American, but it is like let's say the Amazon is the 800-pound gorilla in the market. Do you use this term? I see.
I've not heard it, but I totally understand it. Yeah. Yeah,
I
it's
understand.
it's a big heavy monster, very difficult to kind of counteract.
Exactly.
If you're a mouse up against an 800-pound gorilla, 800 pounds will be American because we don't
Yeah.
use pounds in the same way. So,
That's
but yeah, perfectly understandable.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Let's say hello to Mr. Juan. I don't know how to pronounce your name correctly. Are you audible? Please unmute you. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, man. How are you?
Great.
Is that morning over there? Is it morning?
No. It's 3 o'clock. No,
3 o'clock.
half past 3
I see.
afternoon.
Afternoon. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were taking a nap, most probably.
Yeah, probably.
I see. Very good.
Look
Yeah.
my hair.
That's
Yeah.
okay, man. That's okay. Welcome aboard. So we are talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please.
That I think I know you.
You know me. Yeah. I think, of course,
Yeah,
we
because
met.
teacher Meysam, yeah.
Yeah.
You have a YouTube channel.
That's true. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
we met a couple of months ago on Zoom. I remember.
Yes.
That's amazing. Very good. So today's question, Mr. Juan, is some people prefer to buy local products while others prefer international products. To what extent do you agree or disagree with this? Let me share the question in the chat box. What is your opinion about it? You're from Argentina, right?
Yes.
I see.
And I have to say that in my opinion, because I don't have a job right now, so for me, buying things here in Argentina, it's very expensive to buy things.
That's
so
true.
People go to another country and buy things, and then they bring them back to Argentina because they are cheap. They are
trade
cheaper.
it, to just sell it, maybe to compensate some.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't know, sneakers or shoes or whatever, or cell phones. They go to United States, or I don't know where they go, but or Chile. They go to Chile, they buy technology, and they bring them back, and then they sell it.
And there is no
here.
tax. There is no tax that the government can get from those people.
No, because some they do it like illegally.
Illegally. I see.
Yeah. Yeah, but Chile is close to us, so it's next to our country. So they go to Chile, they buy things, and then they come back. Yeah,
I understand.
But I know that if you go to another country and you buy things like technology or clothes, it's cheaper and they have a good quality. But in my country, if you buy something that is very expensive, you say, oh, this is high quality because it's expensive, but it's not, it's fake. And sometimes we don't believe in our products. I mean, you sell
in your local
shoes
products.
Made if you see a product that it has a label that says made in Argentina, oh, it's fake. I don't buy it.
Really?
Yeah.
I see. What about over there? I mean, talking to Mr. Mazen, you're silent. What about in Denmark? I think you're in Denmark, right?
Yes, I'm in Denmark.
Please go ahead. Speaking of the same, question as the same statement as Mr. Juan actually started.
You want to speak about globalization or the difference between products?
Okay, speak about both, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the products. I mean we have a good quality of products here, and but sometimes it's from neighboring countries like Germany
Uh-huh.
or yeah, or even the UK and things like that. But the thing is, if I want, if I you may me allow me to speak also
Mhm.
about the Middle East.
Okay.
In the Middle East, we don't trust the goods there also. I mean, we prefer to buy from outside our country in the Middle East.
Mhm.
If we want something to have a high quality and better, we always say the foreign are always better. But
Mm.
but as what he said, many people they for example, if you buy something like Adidas or Nike and things like that, they are also fake. They are done locally and just put the name, and this is not the right product because it's very much cheaper. Because if you are buying something that is our brand, it's much higher price, much higher price.
Mhm.
So always, when we have this the Middle Eastern mentality, we think
Yeah.
about buying from outside the country because it's much better.
And also maybe it is
Mhm.
affordable, we can say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If I could just pick up on something Juan was saying, Juan Pablo, and also Mazen. I mean, Denmark for me is an incredibly expensive country. So I can see where people from Denmark, the Nordic countries, will be buying out of cheaper European countries. So purchasing products, having them shipped, or when they go on holiday, picking up this, that, and the other because they can bring it in because of the way frontiers work within Europe. So, and I know in terms of Argentina and Chile being having a border between the two, it's a very, very, very long border. So the ability to bring things across can be a little easier. I'm just going to, I don't know if I can chip in, if I can ask
Sure.
Juan Pablo here. He
Of course.
I know he's been unemployed and he worked in a cafe and all that kind of stuff. Those very simple products and services, which are the backbone of many high streets, the backbone of many cities. Those small services, you know, the cafes, the restaurants, the bars, all of these things suffer as a result of not having a high street. Suffer as a result of not having the things which bring customers in. So if you go shopping with your friends, you want to have a beer, you want to have a coffee, you want to take lunch. But when you don't have the local shops because they've been decimated by people buying off the internet, that has an adverse effect upon people like Juan Pablo, because you don't have what we call the footfall of people passing the shops, people shopping for this, shopping for that, and then passing on their money to the cafe shops, to the restaurants, and all that kind of stuff. It's, I think, if we buy internationally, and we buy cheap internationally, or we buy off the internet because it's cheaper than buying at our local shops. Other shops like cafes and bars and other service industries also suffer. It's detrimental for them as well.
Yes.
Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Here in Argentina, now all the bars and restaurants are open, but there is a competition between them, and people cook different dishes from all around the world. I mean, they bring dishes. They cook different dishes from Peru, from United States, from Egypt, from Peru, from I don't know, and the local ones are concerned about the money because they don't sell anything. And also we like the I don't know, the milanesa, the fries, everything. But also McDonald's is here a few blocks from my house, and people go there a lot, frequently. And if you, but now for me, it's all expensive. You know, if you go to a restaurant and you want to eat food, or you want to drink something, it's expensive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And some people, they can't afford the price of the food.
Mm-hmm.
So they nowadays they eat at home, in their homes, and they don't go out too much. Not all the people, but some of them, they stay at home and they enjoy their time with their family.
I see.
And today we celebrate the Mother's Day. So
Mother's Day.
I'm yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know in your country, but I think it's different day.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, different.
Yeah.
Yeah, please, Mr. Ken, please.
I was going to say, I mean, what's because we've all spoken, but you haven't. So give us your overview of. I've taken over this chat. I just because I'm watching at the moment. I'm watching Spanish programs, or a couple who are traveling through Turkey, and they're just talking. And this is something which has been said prior about the fake goods, all of these fake goods in all of the markets, and how cheap it is for them to travel there and to be there in comparison to their own country, which for me is relatively cheap. So, I mean, how and what is the situation in Turkey? I mean, give us your overview.
Of course. I mean, in Turkey recently, it has been a couple of years that people cannot afford to buy how can I say, to buy some good products in terms of technology, pretty much the same actually. And people, have you heard of AliExpress.com? Very similar to Alibaba. People, yeah, AliExpress.com, AliExpress. I can share the link. People just try to order from that website. But again, the government implemented some very strange and vague taxes under different titles, different types of taxes, so that people even cannot buy products from those websites as well. So everything is tremendously expensive, disturbingly expensive. I don't know, what is the price of iPhone, let's say iPhone 13 in your countries? Here is like 40,000 Turkish liras. 40,000, man. A couple of years ago, you could buy a car with that.
40,000?
40,000 Turkish liras, yeah.
Turkish,
iPad, Mac, cameras, just forget. Lenses, you should sell your house. Very expensive.
Here,
really?
If you want to buy this kind of phones, you need to sell the organ of your human body.
Yeah, not that, I mean, that much, but of course I wanted to say that this is extremely expensive, disturbingly expensive. Yeah. But for those people who are traveling to Turkey and they bring their own currencies like euro, pounds, dollars, even riyal, some Arabic countries, they say, oh, Turkey is very cheap. Indeed, because the value of the currency, Turkish lira, cannot compete with those currencies.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The cost of the iPhone 13 is around about 12 to 1,300 US dollars, depending upon which is that is
insane.
Here is 400.
That's more than average week's wages. That's more than an average week's wages.
Yeah.
That's double the cost of a good quality laptop computer.
True. That's true.
So,
and that was just an example. What about Argentina?
In my country, if you want to buy iPhone 13, you need 400,000 pesos.
Yeah.
Which is in dollars, do you know?
No.
You should convert it.
Yeah.
Maybe you can convert it and just tell us.
Yeah.
What about Mr. Mazen? How about Denmark?
I mean,
How much is the iPhone 13, for example?
I saw the other day when I was at the shop at about 12,500 krona, and it's similar to nearly to $2,000.
$2,000.
Yeah. So and if we are going to talk generally about, for example, France at one time, when they wanted to get the American movies, so that they can have the business under control, they put taxes on those kind of movies. Because this is the movies, just to show them in France. In France. So this is a kind of a deal that they did not accept these kind of movies because they are American, because this is Hollywood. American movies are competing with the French industry. So they put taxes on them so it can be similar to their country. Also, it applies also on some countries when they want to protect their goods. They put high taxes on foreign goods, so they can protect their own economy. For example, here in Denmark, when we go to the high street, they have a problem because there is shop rent they pay. So this kind of the rent they pay for having this kind of shop, that's why the price is high. So when you go just buying that from the internet, you get it cheaper because they don't have all these payments they have to pay. So it's cheaper, and of course from another country, the working force they get to the wages there are less than here in Europe, or especially in Denmark. I also want to mention one thing, that on the Danish-German border, usually people that are living close to there, they just go buying alcohol from Germany. And it's much cheaper, and they go back again to Denmark. It also happens the same also in the Swedish. There's no border. They go just by a bridge. They go there buying alcohol and come back again to Copenhagen. So in this way, they save a lot of money in the weekend. and alcohol is something very important here,
Of course.
I mean, that's not that unusual. I mean, we have obviously within the United Kingdom, we've got Northern Ireland and Éire, and obviously there's a land border, and a lot of people do the same who live on the border. They go across and buy things like petrol, cigarettes, alcohol, and they do that between the two because in one country it's cheaper than it is in the other country. So it's not a black market, but there's definitely a transit kind of situation where people will transit in and out of countries to take benefits, to take a financial benefit from buying from one side or the other. I mean, obviously, they tend to be buying in bulk to make it worth their while, unless they are literally on the border and they can. But actually, businesses have set up along the border to take advantage of this. So literally across the border, there will be an alcohol shop because it's cheaper for people from Éire, Southern Ireland, to buy in Northern Ireland, and vice versa. So, shops on the border in Southern Ireland will not be selling alcohol because it's cheaper for people just across the border. And so it can have a detrimental effect when you have countries who have either different tax rates or, the costs are higher or lower because of wages. I mean, like I said, Denmark, I know is expensive. Norway, Finland, Sweden, they're frightening. For me to go there, and I think I'm well paid, it's like, whoa, how much? Because it literally is. It's just a massive financial shock in terms of the differences in costs. If I was to go to Turkey, I'd be going, Quentin, cheap as chips. But Turkey's a long way away, and but you know what I mean. It's it is how
struggling, it's still struggling.
Yeah,
so
talking about Turkey, I mean, many Danish people go to Alanya just to have their vacation cheaper.
True.
Perhaps some of them do that because going to Spain would cost more than that, more than going to Turkey. So some people prefer going to Turkey just to save some kind of money. And also, there are some people here, when they buy their furniture in Denmark, they go as if they are foreign, they go to a sponsor and bring their furniture from the sponsor. He bring them, import them from Turkey, import all the furniture from Turkey, and they bring it home here to Denmark. Also, we have a problem here with the industry. I mean, the dentists are very expensive, and it is not free here. I mean, you cannot go to dentist without paying. You have to pay. So they also go here in special offices, and they are connected with Poland. So they check that their dentist, their teeth, they check them, and they fly to Poland and make them in 1 or 2 days and fly back again to Denmark. So can you see that this is where it's going when it depends on the price?
Yeah, it does, and it will always have a detrimental effect upon local suppliers when the price is so different. If it's a few, I don't know, cents, a few pennies, a few euros, you're not really talking about much. But when you're talking about 10, 15 euros, 10, 15 dollars, pounds, that starts to make a big difference in terms of how a consumer will look at his purchasing power and go, do you know what? If I buy off Amazon, I can have it the next day or pretty damn close. I save myself leaving the house, especially in winter when it's wet and horrible. It lands on my doorstep, no issues, and I've just saved X number of dollars. And I've saved my time, and I've saved, I've not eaten into my leisure time. It just arrives on your doorstep, or you just pick it up from the high street from a sort of postal box type thing. But yeah, it's. I think we all will suffer as a result of either being able to purchase internationally and/or being tourists and being able to go to a neighboring country like Chile. Don't know what's the nearest country in Turkey. I'm trying to get Turkey in my head, but this idea that your neighbor is cheaper because the taxes are cheaper, because your government doesn't tax alcohol at 300%, but only taxes it at 10% instantly. People fly across the border, pick up what they need at a fraction of the cost. And that, again, this whole thing about reducing the effectiveness of a local economy and creating this, I won't say global economy, but an economy which is based outside of your local area, which is based potentially outside of your own country. Obviously, it has a beneficial effect for those who are receiving extra customers, but not locally.
Yeah, totally right. Of course, the conversation can go on, but we have almost a minute left again. It was really lovely seeing you, talking to you guys. It was amazing conversation. So that's it. Let's say goodbye, and let's hoping to meet up again, maybe next weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Take care.
Thank you. Have a good time. See you next time, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
See you.
Have a nice day.
You too, man.